Hi, it's Gwendolyn from Lifestyle Sew. Thank you for everybody for the advice that you gave me about doing too much. It's all taken on board, and maybe we'll do some different structure how we do the videos to get through. So let's hopefully, this will be for a Lutterloh video. So hopefully people will start watching those videos, and it'll just have that section in that you actually need yourself. Look what we're going to make. We're going to make pattern, I think it's let me have a look, S299. I'm going to make the top. I've decided I'm going to make the top, and that'll get all the fitting in. So if you ever want to do the dress will be, beautiful as it is. So we're going to do the top. But all this video is, so pre-warn you, is only for showing you the pattern itself, what the pattern symbols mean and what the pattern is. Because there's a few things that are really important when you actually do a Lutterloh. You need to know the symbols. And first of all, a few things here. So this has got stretch on it. So it's the trousers that are stretch, but the tops are woven. If it doesn't have that knit on symbol, then it's woven. And I'm doing that. So that's the first thing. So S299, and we're going to do the blouse. So that's number 65. So we're going to be so that's the first thing that we're going to talk about. The next thing is the pattern. And what you need is to get out of your Lutterloh kit, you need to get your pattern symbol sheet. Now I've laminated mine, as you can hear. And normally I would have already laminated this. The patterns that I like, that I keep. So I can see great potential in this pattern. Real great potential that I would wear over time. And I do like that dress for the summer. But I'm going to make this first, and then I might make that dress for the summer. So there's the pattern symbols. Now when you have a look at this dress, it has here, across here, a little wiggly line. And you think, what is that? So we get the symbol page and we find that line. So double check it to make sure you get the right line. Yep, okay. And what it's saying is it's elastic. That's the same line. So this has got an elastic waist. That's good news, isn't it? Can't go wrong with an elastic waist. It means if you do make a little bit of a mistake, it's actually going to be incorporated into the dress. So that's one good thing. The next thing is we've got a wiggly line at the top here. You've got a wiggly line there. Is that on that side too? Yeah. That is, have a look at your symbols, and that's gathering. So that is going to be gathered in along the top. Then the next thing we have is the yoke, because on here, there's the yoke there, but you can see on the top of that's a yoke. Now if I turn it over, you'll see it goes across the shoulder, and that's what you're going to gather into that yoke. Now the next thing is we've got here the same gathering as elastic. So elastic's going to go in the cuff, but it's also got line dash 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 dash. That's just going to be, if you have a look there, all your dashes is going to be facings. But it's not really going to be a facing, that actually, to be honest. It's just, that's just going to be the hem. You're going to turn that up and you're going to have a little hem on it, which your elastic, because you've got to finish the edge, haven't you? So you're going to turn it up and then put your elastic across. Now for some people, you might want to do, because that's an elastic waist, you might want to do several rows of shearing all the way across the middle. That would give it a different look altogether. And maybe some shearing on here, all the way across, or just put the elastic, sew the elastic in. You can do both ways, really. That's really, really nice. That's a mop cord. It's not actually inside in thingy-bob. It's an elastic waist, but the cord is made, stuck on the front, like you were going to drag in your waist. So that's a good thing. Now, you may not want... That looks puffy here, and the reason why your sleeve is puffy here and it comes down, because you've got an elastic waist, and that's very fine fabric, and it's longer than needed. So what happens is you've got an elastic waist, but the extra material just puffs over to create that look. So you may need to tailor that to your needs, because these arms may come out big. So you need to be quite careful when you're actually measuring yourself on what you want for that look, because here you got, it's, you know, it's slim, you know, the drawings, they're not real people, so it looks nice and slim. So for me, because I've got, you know, porky tops, cuddly tops, cuddly, I would need to slim that down a bit so it doesn't look huge. And that and then the actual finished off itself is going to be, they haven't got a hem on there. They actually haven't put for a hem on there at all, or on the dress. But you'll finish that off, because this is made with quite fine material. You can finish that off with a rolled hem, a very fine hem. There's all ways you can finish that off. We'll see when I do it how I'm going to finish that off. And the most important thing is it's got a V on the arm. Where is it? Where's my V on this side? It's got that little V on the arm. There. That V needs to go on your arm. It needs to go on there when you do not forget to do that, because believe it or not, that the top of the arm scape cap is not the same. So if you look, one side's dipping down and one side's more up. So it goes up and then it dips down. And where the V is, that's where it dips down into you. So this is what gives you that arm movement. Now, if you do it the other way around, especially if you've got a plain material and you can't tell the difference and you sew it in the other way, one, it's not going to fit you right. It's going to be quite obvious it's not going to fit you right. But as a beginner, you might not know. You might think, oh, it looks okay. That's what it's meant to be. But equally, you won't have the proper room either to move your arms, and it's not going to fit. There's just going to be something about it. You're going to think that's not quite right, and then from the back, it's not going to. It really is going to show more from the back that's not right. So you do need to make sure you have that V in the front. So when you put your sleeve in, that V goes here. You know, right at the bottom. You know, you're starting there. That's the front of your sleeve that goes there, and there's one for either side, obviously, and then you'll be fine. Now, this is the cord that they've given you, that you make a little cord. And in my experience, I'm going to show you, you need a turner. You can do this anywhere. You can do it with a safety pin or whatever you like. But the best way to do it is with a turner. Z point turner. But they're not cheap. You don't need it. You can do it without it. But, you know, life's all about making, when you dressmake, once you buy the main things, you just need a few extra bits and pieces just to make your life, you just build up. It's not so much your stock, because eventually you're going to, you know, just buy material willy-nilly. But all those little things you think, oh, I don't need that, I don't need that. It saves you time. It gives you a quicker, faster, obviously, process, and that makes it more enjoyable for you, because you're not there for an hour trying to struggle through, trying to get something through that, oh God, you know. But obviously, if you haven't got that sort of thing, I didn't have it for years, I've only bought it this year, it does make life easier for you, and that's what it's all about in dressmaking. I've got loads of little tools that I have that just do that. Right, so what material are we talking about to make this? You can make this top in a soft jersey, there's loads of, it's a lightweight material. That's what you're going to make this in. And the reason why you're making it in the light, because you want that flow. Your fabric needs to have a certain amount of flow. So it can move, a lot of movement. But if you make the dress, it's even vitally important, because remember, that dress is not shaped properly. When that goes in, that's still going to have a lot of bulk. If you, I say it's not shaped properly, is that dress, the way it's shaped, when you pull that in and it'll come right down. But you've got all those gathers here. You're going to have a lot of gathers here. Now, if you're a bit hippie, or if you've got a bit of a tummy or whatever, you're going to have a lot of bulk. If you need a bust adjustment, you will not need it on this, because there'll be enough fabric. That's not how it works. That really is not how it works. You will need a bust adjustment. You will need a round back if you have a round back. You will need a sway back if you have a sway back. So you need to do those. On here as well, it's got, luckily enough, because that's going to be gathered, that is going to be really easy, really easy to do a shoulder adjustment when it comes in. It really is going to be quite easy to do that. You're just going to pull it in a little further to get it in, because nearly every shoulder pattern, whether it's Lutterloh or anybody's, never fits me. I always have to take like a ½ an inch off to do that. Most people don't realise, just lift your arm up, find where the crease is, put that down, that's your shoulder, and that's what you're working to. So that's where it needs to come from. If it goes over a bit, then you're going to have a wider shoulder at the top, which is going to make you look bigger, unless you're doing a drop shoulder, and that's the design of the pattern. You know, because some patterns it comes over to about there, and I've got dresses that I wear like that too. So it's all incorporated in the shoulder, the arm, if you like, a little bit, but in this occasion it's not. So on the fabric side of it, like I said, you need to make sure you pick the right fabric for the right job. So go through your stash, and you want something that's going to flow when it gets elasticated. You don't want cotton, because if you put this into cotton, when you elasticate that, it's going to be quite those pleats or gathers. Those gathers that you've created are going to be quite stiff, and it's not going to flow. So that's not really going to work well. You need to have something that's going to have a little bit more flow so you can do the job right. So this is the first video on making this blouse. And let's see you soon on the next video. Now please subscribe, and when you subscribe, can you press the bell? Because if you press the bell, you'll get notifications, because if I put a video out, it's only going to a small fraction of the people who actually are registered to the channel or subscribe to the channel. But if you press the bell, then it'll go out to everybody. I mean, you don't have to watch the video, but it will go out to everybody, and then it's up to you whether you want to click on it or not. Give me a thumbs up on the channel, and please comment if you want to, if you need a question answering, or you want to talk about something within the pattern, then please do it on the channel. We have a Facebook page, a lovely Facebook page. The women on the Facebook page are lovely anyway. Lifestylesew, all one word, on Facebook, and you'll find us, and just ask to join. So I'll see you soon. Take care.